Introduction. Richard I, commonly referred to as Richard the Lionheart, is best known today for his role in the legends and folk tales surrounding Robin Hood, daring renegade and cunning thief of Sherwood Forest. In these stories, Richard is the beloved but absent ruler. His subjects all hope for the return of good King Richard as they suffer under the tyrannical rule of Richard's younger brother, Prince John. While the tales of Robin Hood make the name of King Richard familiar to many today, the spread of heroic legends about the 12th century king is nothing new. In the Middle Ages, a popular story related how Richard gained his name by defeating a lion and pulling out its heart. Even Shakespeare referred to this legend in his play King John. Against whose fury and unmatched force the aweless lion could not wage the fight, nor keep his princely heart from Richard's hand. Stories of Richard circulated not only in Western Europe, but also in the East among Richard's enemies. 3 Muslim historians of Richard's day recorded his conflicts with the great medieval Muslim leader Saladin. These men portrayed King Richard as a fierce and formidable opponent. Despite the image of Richard as a good king and a mighty warrior, the actual account of his life might surprise many listeners. For instance, though renowned as King of England, Richard spent less than a year of his reign on English soil. In fact, Richard never even learned to speak English fluently. His real attention was focused on his holdings in France and on his crusade in Palestine. In these places he was enmeshed in wars and politics, both as a king and knight charging recklessly onto the battlefield, and as the central figure of complicated negotiations. This audiobook does not attempt to describe the complex politics of medieval France and England, nor to explain the history of the Third Crusade or explicate its horrors. Instead, what you will find here is a picture of King Richard himself, a story of the decisions, events, and people that influenced the course of his life. You will find the king who rebelled against his father and made a pact with his family's greatest enemy. Richard was a charismatic leader, but at the same time he insulted and angered many nobles, making plenty of enemies. He had to flee through Europe in disguise, survived captivity, and never lost his love of battle. Many historians have questioned whether Richard truly was a good ruler of his land and his people. In this audiobook, you'll discover a king who was brave, a king who was daring and even reckless at times, a king who loved honor and glory. You'll see Richard the son, the brother, the sovereign, and the military leader. And as you listen, you'll realize that no matter what questions historians might raise about King Richard, no one can question that the story of his life is an unforgettable one.